welcome. The show is in honor of. It's a show where we pay tribute to all of our veterans. And today we have a very special group that we pay veterans to, and all very, very good friends. These are representatives of the Vietnam Veterans of America, the VVA. DiGiacomo, Nikki Castoro, Frank Russo, and Paolucci. Okay, welcome, guys. And of course, my co-host, Paul Dietrich. Paul, before we get into the show, though, I got something that's on my mind, and we were talking about it. The status of the Blue Water Navy bill that's, I guess, in the Senate at this point.
Yes, it is.
Can you bring us up to date, please?
Yes, and this is very important to Vietnam-era veterans and Vietnam veterans in particular. And so that we understand what it's about is, right now, if you had boots on the ground in Vietnam and you have a number of different diseases that are associated with Agent Orange, the VA covers you and gives you compensation for your injuries that occurred from the Agent Orange. However, if you were on a naval ship offshore, they do not, because they say you need to have boots on the ground in order to be exposed. And to me, that's absurd, because whatever we sprayed on the country of Vietnam was washed off into the ocean, and every naval ship in the world and every ship in the world makes fresh water out of seawater. So it had to be in the water that they were drinking on board the ships and expose them just as the men were exposed and women were exposed on land. But the important part is that right now, the Blue Water Navy Act was passed unanimously. This is the first time I can remember that a bill was passed unanimously in our House of Representatives. I mean, think about this. It didn't matter whether you were Republican or Democrat. You voted to pass this so that those veterans would get taken care of. Right now, it is sitting in the Senate, and it is on hold. The VA has come back and said that it will be very expensive. And they've also said there's no conclusive evidence. And I know that you guys have heard this before, when it was the onshore people that were coming down with these diseases, and, oh, well, there's no conclusive evidence. Most of the Vietnam-era veterans are in their 70s. How long do we have to wait? We know that it affected people on shore. How could it not affect them on the water? So it's very important right now that you call your senators. If you're here in New York, you need to call Senator Gillibrand, and you need to call Senator Schumer, and you need to tell them that you want this bill passed. We exposed people to something that we shouldn't have. Maybe we didn't know about it, maybe we did, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, these people have a number of diseases, and they need to be compensated for it and taken care of. So it's out there, it's held up in the Senate. You need to push the Senate to do it. And remember, unanimously in the House of Representatives, first bill I've seen in many, many years passed unanimously. Blue Water Navy Act. Please call, please make your feelings known.
Thank you, Paul. Gene, how are the guys doing? First of all, let me formally welcome you.
Thank you.
You guys do a lot of work lately, and there's so many things that are happening. Why don't you bring us up to date what's going on?
Yes, and right now, in fact, we just ended our 30th year.
Congratulations.
Chapter started in 1988, and it's really growing. We have well over 200, close to 250 members, active at every meeting. 50 to 60 people come.
That's a great show.
I can honestly say that every new member that comes out stays. There's no people that come into the chapter that fade away. So we're very active, and we do a lot of things, and we have great membership. Before I go any further, I want to make sure we know Nikki Castoro, who's my vice president and my right arm. Frank Russo, our secretary and our webmaster. That's because you're getting old. And Al Paolucci, our treasurer. This is the executive board of our organization, and this is the glue, along with the board of directors. We've accomplished so much. We have completely beautified and redone the memorial on Manor Road.
Oh, you did a great job up there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we're still working on it. We put a lot of money into it. We had a lot of help. We have a brick program that works for us, that anybody could have a brick donated in there, and that helps us keep the things going. We still have a lot more to do there, but right now, the thing we're looking to do is make it completely maintenance-free so that when we're gone, that memorial is staying intact, and we're doing a pretty good job at it. We have so many things going. We had a Veterans Helping Veterans program, which we have converted to a Veterans Community program, because not only are we helping veterans, we're out there with the community. We do certain things with schools like PS 57 and the special needs children. Of course, we're also out there when veterans need help. We're with that. We have an honor guard. I'll let Nicky Castoro talk about that, since he's the captain. That's come a long way. That does funeral services and a lot of other things. We have a golf outing that's helped us keep the chapter going, and it's also been good for us because it funds the Veterans Community Program. And we just recently, about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we made it the J. O'Donovan Memorial Golf Outing.
Right.
Because he was our brother,
And
and
his
he was
brother,
there with us.
he was in
He was a great guy. I knew him personally, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. We do so much. Now what's coming up is the Silla Foundation has their annual golf outing.
Right.
And every year they honor a veterans group. This year they approached us, Jack Fanari approached us and told us that we are going to be honored. So they're going to have their
Congratulations.
outing. Yes, it's very nice.
And it's well deserved.
We're going to have that out. They're going to have the outing, and the dinner is going to be at the Hilton.
Yes.
And all veterans, Vietnam veterans, are welcome to come. All they have to do is get in touch with me. The Silla Foundation has lowered the price for $50. It's
For
normally
Vietnam
$85.
veterans, correct? For Vietnam veterans.
Yeah, just for
Just
Vietnam
for
veterans.
Vietnam vets, yeah.
You could bring your wife. If you bring your wife, that's $75. They even lowered the price for that. And it's just a great thing. And if anybody's interested, to get in touch with me about it.
Can you tell us when it is?
Yes, it's November 12th. And as I said, it's going to be about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, right after the golf outing. And there's going to be, they were present at one of our Day of Remembrances. And they were so impressed with that thing, the way we do it, that
The honor,
they want us,
the honor roll.
the honor roll, the 85,
Right.
that they want us to do that roll call of honor that night. And that's a great thing. And I could go on and on, but I know we have a time limit here, so I want to make sure that these gentlemen have what they have to say, because they are the key to what makes this chapter run. And in closing, one of the things I want to say is that people ask us, they wonder why the chapter is so strong. The chapter is strong because of guys like this, guys that stick together, and the organization is very vibrant. It keeps on moving. It's not a place where you could come to, have a quick meeting, and leave. We're always doing things. We're out in the community. We're out there with veterans. We have dances. We have all kinds of things to keep everybody interested. So it's a really vibrant organization, and it just keeps on growing.
Well, you got a machine that works, and we all get older, and we have our ills and our problems, what have you. But for some reason, the VVA just continues to steamroll forward, even though there are days when you're not feeling up to it. Now, I know you went through hell yourself for something, your medical problems, but you're there every day, and all of you gentlemen are, and you ought to be commended for that, because you're not laying down and dying. You're showing that, hey, we stand for something and we're here.
It's a brotherhood.
Exactly.
And everybody talks about it, and they say, oh, veterans are veterans, your brothers. This organization believes in it, and we all are brothers. And
It's a great thing.
it's just a great thing. I've been doing this for years as president, and they keep on asking me to come back, and I'll keep on coming back as long as they want me, because there's such a great group of guys to work with.
You
Wonderful
mentioned
thing,
that they should contact you if they were interested in this. Can you give us how to contact
Yes,
you?
right on our website.
Okay.
Right on our website.
Which is?
We'll leave that.
www.vva421.org.
Okay.
And with that, I want to pass this on to Nikki,
Nick.
my vice president.
How you doing, Nick?
Good,
And
nice-
thank you for being back again.
It's nice to be here, and I'd like to thank you and Colonel Paul for continuing to do this show and give our local veterans a voice and let people know that we're out here. And we appreciate it.
We wanted to continue that way, and I'm so happy to have you guys back here again.
It's our pleasure.
That's important, So,
And Gene mentioned our honor guard, which I'm fortunate enough to be captain of. On September 23rd, we just did our annual POW MIA memorial service, where we honor the POWs and MIAs. And back in June, we had our Day of Remembrance, where we honor and remember the 85 Staten Islanders who lost their lives in Vietnam.
right.
Those are our two biggest events of the year. The Honor Guard also, throughout the year, will go to a wake of any veteran, as long as the family requests us. You know, some veterans don't belong to an organization, or they don't get a proper military send-off. So our Honor Guard will go there and post at the funeral home,
Right.
and do a little ceremony and a reading afterwards, and the families really appreciate it. Also, as Gene mentioned, the Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation dinner, they are honoring Vietnam veterans this year, and they asked us to do the roll call of honor that we do at the Day of Remembrance ceremony. Also, we're going to have the POW MIA missing man table set up. And they were really going overboard for us. They even asked, we have a song that I wrote and recorded called Honor
Great
Them All.
song, yeah, and we've played it on the air a number of times here.
Thank you. And the children at St. Adalbert School, when they have their veterans, like the Veterans Breakfast Social is coming up.
Next 2 weeks.
And also in the spring, they also do a veterans outing.
Yep.
Ice cream
Memorial
outing,
Day.
I think it's
Right.
called. Well, they had the children actually perform the song "Honor Them All," and I was very moved. It was very touching. The entire student body, from pre-K up to 8th grade, they all were involved, and it impressed Jack Funari from the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. He asked Diane Hesterhagen, the principal, if the children could perform at the Silla dinner. So the children are going to be there doing our song "Honor Them All."
Yeah.
Very happy about
And
that.
she is to be commended, Diane Hesterhagen.
Oh, absolutely.
The job that she does, I mean, her background, her family, military, she's got police officers in her family, and just does a fantastic thing.
She's a true patriot.
We're very
Exactly.
fortunate on Staten Island to have educators like her, and Tottenville High School's another one.
Right.
Joanne Nolemi,
Yep.
fantastic woman who does so much for veterans, and the principal, Joseph Scamato, always treat us royally whenever we're there, and they ask us there quite often. They're having a Veterans Day event. I think it's November 5th is theirs. They want us to attend, of course, and all veterans to attend. And they ask us if we'd be willing to go sit in on a history class and take questions from the students. And I always do that every chance I get. It's very rewarding.
The fact that you do that and have been doing it all these years is so important, because you go some parts of the city, Vietnam's not even mentioned in history. And you say Vietnam and a kid will look like, you're like, where?
Well, we do, I'm sorry to interrupt. What we have been doing for years is a program called the Vietnam Experience. And it pretty much goes into the history of Vietnam, and it eliminates all the blood and guts. And that's been out there for I don't know how many years. And we do a patriotism also, where we go out into schools And Nikki and I part of it. Frank is, and we go out to the schools and we talk to students.
It does a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frank?
Frank Russo?
I'm just gonna preface with what Gene was saying on the the cohesiveness of our members and everything else. When I started this website, I wanted it to be a tool of education, a tool of communication, and also a time capsule. In other words, so that way, when we're gone, they can hopefully go to this website and see who we are, what we did, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
As far as the website itself, I mean, it has gotten, which is surprisingly, it's gotten great reviews from the members. I mean, there are members that came to me and said, I very rarely go on a computer, but you know what? I go to this website quite often. So that's a big plus for the chapter as far as communication, because we do all our communication now on the website.
And it's a big thing for the public. Let
Right,
the public be aware.
Yeah,
Let them,
This website, again, I want to interrupt because he's too modest to say. When Frank became part of the chapter, I saw his work and I approached him about a website. This website has literally changed the chapter. It made us so self-sufficient. We're out there to grab everybody. He developed a program that at our memorial where we have a brick program that he matched it all out. So when we have a brick put in place and somebody wants to know where it is so they could come and see it, they go on a computer into the website and they punch in the name of who's ever on that brick, and Frank has got it mapped out so that it'll show them right where the brick is, what section and where to go. It's incredible.
Just to follow up on Gene, it has a map of the memorial separated into sections, and they could go to a listing of all the bricks that have been installed. It could be searched with a filter. In other words, if you type in anything it'll show you only those bricks that have that word or part of that word in those bricks. So, for example, if I type in Russo, it'll give me all the bricks that have the word Russo in it.
Right.
And then if you click on any one of them, it'll come up with the picture of that brick along with bricks next to it, so that way you can very easily follow it.
That's beautiful.
Not only that, as far as the memorial itself, there is a section where you can go back and see what the memorial looked like. It's like a timed event to see when we had grass there before we installed the bricks, et cetera, et cetera.
And
So there's a time.
by the way, we've got plenty of room for more bricks. Plenty of room, so it's a nice gift for someone if you want to honor someone.
All right.
You can have their name put on a brick and have it installed.
I've
so.
got a few in there already.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, you do.
We-
Frank
we-
mentioned to them about your calendar and how we
Oh,
can.
well, I got to refer to my notes, I apologize. But we have calendars out there that our chapter calendar will list the meetings, the meeting times. It'll list events that are specific to the chapter itself. Then we have calendars out there that Vito's calendar, there's also a link to Vito's
Vito
calendar.
Giobbi.
Vito
Right.
Giobbi, and lists all events that are occurring at different organizations. I also have a link for a calendar that'll specify days, like a National Nut Day or something, but you can go out there
Right.
and get that
Matter
calendar.
of fact, yesterday was National Grouch Day.
I'm sure it's on that calendar.
That's me, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Vito Giobbi
So-
just finally put together a calendar of events for all veterans, which it's finally, we had somebody that do that, and it's great. It lets everybody know what's going on Staten
All the
Island.
different organizations.
We have an extensive photo and video gallery. All our events, our days of remembrances, the entire ceremony is out there. You can go out there and view it. We have the other major part of this website is the 85 Staten Islanders that were killed in Vietnam. There is a section where you can go there, and there's a picture of each honoree there.
Profile.
And if you click, there's different links. You can actually see the name on the wall in Washington. You can see their military page. It'll list their military awards, what their MLS was, etc. So that's for the 85. There's also there's a link out there for veterans benefits, and this is where the educational part comes in. There's veterans and benefits. I have links out there for Agent Orange, for how do you get your military records, all about the tax exemptions. So there's links on everything you can really think of.
That's very, very important.
It is an extensive website. Very proud of it, but again, I will specify that it's only as good as the members that reach out to the website. Nobody reaches out, then the website is useless. But in our case,
Well, we're going to get the word out there to make sure that everybody uses it.
Yeah.
Right,
We used
not
to
only
get-
members, it's for everybody, general
It's,
education.
How many phone calls I used to get, people asking me questions, what about this and what about that? Now, all I do is say,
Go to the
421, VVA421.org. Just surf through it and you get all the answers you want.
any flyer that I get for an event coming up, it's immediately put out there with a link to the flyer.
You're doing a great job with that, Frank,
It
and
is.
you're to be commended.
And there's also a book. Well, it's not a book, it's a virtual book where you could see the pages flipping. I had started that a couple of years ago. We called it Images We Were, We Are. And it has bios of some of our members. It has all the 85 Staten Islanders that were killed with their bios and everything else. And you could actually go online and flip through the pages and things like that. So, the chapter is very proud to have this.
And they should be.
And we have to make a note out there. He is not for hire, he's only us.
Okay.
Because I can imagine he's going to get a million phone calls. One of the other keys, too, is what's so great about this website is on emergencies. If we have an emergency where, God forbid, somebody dies or somebody goes in a hospital, he's got it set up with email addresses and all that people have turned in, and it gets right out there in a flash. So
We have
it's literally changed the chapter.
We have an extensive list of distribution list with members. When a member joins, they fill out a form, and we get their email address and as to whether they want their information public on the website or not. But we at least get their email address. And anytime there's an emergency or anything, I send out the email to all the members. If it's a notice to say go to the website for more information, or just read the email, whatever the subject matter is. And there's also a section of battles, military history, etiquette, or about flag etiquette. They can go out there, and there's a whole section on that also. So
You did a
It's
beautiful
amazing.
thing,
It
yeah.
is truly amazing.
Right.
And he's done this is all on him. So that's
God
why I
bless him.
say
I'm
we lock
proud
him in the
to-
closet.
I'm proud to do it for this organization. Can't say anymore.
Al?
Well, tough act to follow after
Yeah.
these three guys, but basically they mentioned everything. As treasurer, I basically just oversee the books, watch where the
Boy, does he
pennies
oversee
go.
the books.
Yeah.
We still, as Gene mentioned, have a lot to do with the monument. Donations, we're always open for donations. Nikki mentioned the bricks. That's a good way of honoring someone and helping the chapter out at the same time.
If somebody wants to donate, they can go on the website
And go
and
on the website. And the application's there. You can download it, fill it out, send it in, or you can mail it to us, whichever way you prefer, and we'll take care of it from there.
And you're a 501c.
We're a 501c,
definitely,
yes.
Right.
Also, that monument for us here, it's a labor of love. I mean, no matter what has to be done, we will do it.
At the Day of Remembrance, we have one of our board members, John Russo, who took upon himself to set it up, the pictures, so when you go to the Day of Remembrance, on our wall, you'll see all the 85 pictures. So when you go in there, you're not just looking at a name on the wall, you're looking and you see the picture of that person, that guy that was killed in Vietnam. And it's made it something special. You know,
You truly have done wonders. The VVA has done such wonderful things here in Staten Island that you've made your mark. And let me say this quick. If you're a Vietnam vet or a Vietnam era vet,
Thank you.
and you're not a member of this organization, then you need to reevaluate what you're doing, because listening to what they've done and seeing firsthand what they've done, and Paul will bear me out on this, they are truly a class organization, and not only do you belong there, but they need you there, because you're going to keep the legacy alive.
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Ed, because we're very happy that you became one of us a few years ago.
Yes. Thank you, Nicholas.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
On behalf of that, we would like to present you with this hat. That's why he's my vice president. He's my memory bank.
Why, thank you.
And this pin. And
I'll trade covers.
There you go.
there you go.
Thank
Welcome
you.
home, brother.
Thank you so much.
Well, like I
Welcome
said, you're one of us. We want
yeah.
all Vietnam and Vietnam era vets to join us. They belong with us, just as you do. We're proud to have you.
We can't emphasize enough that we are a brotherhood. And we need you to come and try us. If you're a Vietnam veteran or a Vietnam era veteran, you need to be part of our family. Give us a try. I guarantee you will find a home.
And there's no lie in that. That's it. It's so true that
You know, every meeting that we have, just to show you the brotherhood, we have 50 to 60 members that attend every meeting.
that's a
Every
great thing. That's really a great thing. And Paul and I were talking about it. It's tough in this day and age, because it's also sad, because we're losing so many people as time goes on, and a lot of the hazards from Vietnam that people brought with them for the rest of their lives, Agent Orange, for example, makes you lose friends and lose members, and we need to keep this thing alive and keep it going.
We also welcome woman vets, you know, not just,
Goes without saying. Woman, that's
and we have several members, so.
Right. It goes without saying.
We also welcome associate veterans. For those who are not qualified as a veteran, you can be an associate member.
Right.
Thank you so much, and thank you for watching. We love you for watching. We will continue to bring you veterans issues. Go online and check out the VVA right now and do what you can to be part of them. Thank you. God bless. We love you.